Hi everybody, so glad to see you again today. You know, everybody loves flowers and everybody loves the 60s retro type flower power flowers. Are always fun. Back in the vintage days they had lots of brooches like that. People like to find them and collect them now. Do you know you can make your own? Because they still make those parts. They really do. And we carry them at beadsofboutiques.com. We have for years. Maybe you didn't know that. You're going to know that now, because you know why? I'm going to show you today how to use a special technique to make those petals and parts look really, really cool using ink and gold and regular acrylic paints. And you're going to love it. It's going to be so much fun. So I suppose the only thing left to say is, if you don't mind, subscribe to my channel. And also leave me a nice comment if you like to, and leave me a like if you like the video. But having said that, come on over here and let's get to it. I want to show you how to have some flower power. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how you can just put your ink of gold on your paper. I have watercolor paper here, heavy watercolor paper. And I'm just brushing it out on here. We're going to dry brush it on. We're not going to use any water, okay? Or at least try not to. Because I found that it's a little bit better. You get a little bit different texture and it just comes out better. And here's what the attempt is to be. We're going to make something that looks like this. And what it is there's 3 pieces of the flowers. And they're put together with wire. Not a rivet, not glued. Wire and a bead. And then here's your bell on the back. You put a jump in there, you just go from there and put it on your necklace. So I'm going to show you how to do that, but first you got to learn how to dry brush the different petals, which that's what these are. You see these little stippled effects on these? Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that, to get those, like there's usually like 2 or 3 colors. Like this one's definitely got 3 colors on it. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So let's get to it. The first thing I want to do is I try to use an acrylic color first. Okay, so ink of gold is not really an acrylic, it's a beeswax base, which that's fine. You could use all ink of gold, but I find with this base using the like a acrylic pen. These are painters made by Hunt or something like that. I bought these a long time ago. My supplier no longer has them, sadly. I could just ball. So we don't have them at the site, but really you can just use acrylic paints. This thing doesn't matter, just acrylic paint. So I'm going to start with orange. These have been, by the way, degreased, which means when you get the raw brush you have to put it into hot water and soap. I like Dawn. Okay, and wash them up real good, scrub them up real good, and then rinse them, and then dry them bone dry. Why do you have to do that? Because the machinery that they use to make the different tooling pieces requires a lot of grease to run efficiently, okay? So it gets on the brass. It's just one of those things. So you have to get it off if you want your paint to stay on good and not get like oil slicks and stuff on it. So you don't want that. So you have to clean it first. So this has already been cleaned. So this is what I'm going to do. I got my little paint thing. If I didn't have this, I would just be using it. You know, put it on here just the same way and use a brush and just apply it that way. Or with a sponge, however you want to do it. But this is how I'm going to do this one because this is what I have. And you can see, do you see it beading up a little bit there? That means I could have done a better job of cleaning it. But it's okay. It's okay. But that's what happens. You know, you could have it be on there so bad that you couldn't really do anything with it. And that would be a shame. Okay? So normally I do the backs first and then I do the tops, but just for the sake of, you know, the project, I'm just going to do the top so that I can go ahead and show you how I did the rest. Okay? So this is all. The only thing is now this will have to dry, so we'll probably have to go along and do the second one and then we'll come back to it. So that's the only thing that might take a little time with this, but I have to show you how I do this. So you see there, you can see that's what happens when you don't get quite all the, will that lift? No, there's not enough there to make that be a big issue. But if you had not cleaned it at all, certain paints, yeah, it could lift off there eventually, and then you wouldn't have anything very pretty. So it's best to do a really super good job of degreasing them and have some fun. And you know, by the way, I've noticed you guys have been watching the videos a lot more too, and I am so thrilled. We have done now, with this one, it'll be, I think, 8 colorization videos in a row within the space of like 2.5 weeks or so. And I'm real tickled with the response to it, so we're just going to keep going. Seems like people like this. They find it fun and relaxing, and it has a good outcome. You know, there's a good reward to it. So we're just going to keep going because there's a lot of ways we can go. There's so many products out there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah, don't worry if you don't have it in a paint marker. You don't need that. Just get a sponge and put acrylic on that and just go over it. You know, you don't have to worry about it. It's all good. It's just I just so happen to have this. Yeah, I'm fighting with this a little bit. I should have done a better job. I have this one box over here. It's all completely degreased, and it's done really good, but the rest I hurried too much. But anyway, you get the point. I think maybe sometimes it's good to see what happens when it doesn't go quite right. You know, this is what happens when you don't. You have to go back over it more. So anyway, I did it all orange. I like hot poppy colors. I like colors like of India. That's what I like. So I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, and I'm going to take my next one, and I am going to do it with the Inca Gold. This is Inca Gold like we've been using. In fact, I'm going to use this one because it has kind of a light base coat on it already, so we won't have to stop for that. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to show you kind of a thing that I do. I take these little stipple brushes like you use. Oh, this will work. This will do it. This will do it. Like you use for stenciling. These are itty bitty ones. I had some that were a little bit bigger. I think they use these for stenciling. Anyway, I found a good way to use them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my secondary color effect on here. So I'm going to go with this. This is how I'm going to do it. All right. Let's see. For this, I want a hot color. So I'm going to go with this pink. Let's see what happens. And I just take my, if I had acrylic, I just dab some acrylic on it, and that'd be easier. But since I got markers, I have to kind of coax that paint out of there. So I'm kind of dinging this down to get me some good paint going, get me some good paint action. Okay, so there's enough there. You can see it's kind of beat it up on there. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and put it down in it, and I'm going to get it good and soaked up with the paint. And now I'm just going to add a little bit. And I want to leave spaces. I don't want to like cut the whole thing with this color because I want to go over it with another color on top of this. Okay, so that's pretty good. Can you see? Don't worry about that in the back. I still have to paint it. Okay, now sometimes with these brushes you'll get these little greeblies, little foamy things. You have to get them off when you're done, but you know, you'll get it. Okay, so now I need another color. What color will I use? Well, I think I'm going to take my turquoise Inca Gold and do this one. Okay, so I thought I had 2 of them out here. Oh well. What will I do instead? I will improvise. I thought I had 2 here. Okay, anyway, we won't worry about it. See, now we're going to do my turquoise here. So I'm going to get all. What I did is I prepped this already, and I took my toothpick and I got it out of my cans already. Because remember we said before, you don't want to put your brush right into your Inca Gold because it can make it funky. You want to do that. So, and it's kind of thick, as you can see here. See how thick it is? So I'll just get it on here. Okay, this should work. Yeah. A little bit different effect, but the thought's there. And then y'all know it's the thought that counts, right? Yeah. That's the thought that counts. So that's how I do it. It's just very dry brush, no water. No water at all. And this, because you dry brush, you didn't use water, it will dry very quickly as well. Okay? So you'll be able to go ahead and use. I like the colors in that, don't you? You got some like golden from the brass, a little bit of that green that was on it a little bit. And then the turquoise and the pink. That's cool. I like that color. Okay, so now I have this one that's drying. So we'll wait and do anything else to that later. Because now I showed you how I do it. So basically I will just do this kind of stuff over top of that when that dries too. Okay, but right now let's go ahead and make one of these things. Okay, so I've got some pieces and parts that are done. And for this I'm going to probably have to take my gloves off. You don't have to wear gloves. If you don't mind getting paint on your fingers, this stuff is water-based. You can take it off. It's not going to get, you know, poisoned or anything like that by, you know, getting a little bit of paint on your hands. Not this kind anyway. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it. So I'm going to get my trusty little ring tool, and now what I have here is I have to put them together and use wire. This is how I do it. Now if you have another way, that's great. Time for a manicure, I see. Okay, so I've got my eye pin in, so that kind of makes me my start. I don't have to start it because I got that. So I'm going to take it, I'm just going to, you know, we've done this a bazillion times, guys. Just going to twirl it a little bit around like this. Twirly, twirly, twirly. Try to get it as tight as you can. Sometimes that's easier said than done. We're going to go around like 3 times maybe. Okay, 3 times for emphasis. Alright? Alright, now, when I get to this part here, I'm going to bend it down. And
Can you bring that on camera?
I'm sorry. I bend it down, see? At a right angle, I'm sorry. Thank you.
It's
Harvey.
okay.
It's so good she's here because I just get in my zone and I don't think, oh, they can't see it. Good thing she's here. Alright, so now I have it bent down. So I have put that aside. Now I'm going to pick my colors. I'm going to use this pretty one. And I'm going to use, oh, I had a flower on there too, didn't I? What about this? Yeah, this goes good. Now to use this, I'm going to have to bend it up a little bit here. Just a little bit. That's what's so cool about brass stamping, since most of them are made of 24 gauge sheet, and it's very malleable, meaning you can move it with your fingers a lot. Okay, now it fits down in there good. What am I going to put on top? Well, maybe I'll put this guy. What do you think? I like that. Anyway, if we don't like it, we can just clip it off, okay? You don't need to leave it. If you don't like it, you put it in there, you don't like it, so we just move on. Well, just for giggles, I'm going to use this. This isn't the right thing. You can tell what the right thing is. I'm going to show you on this one here. She found something. She thinks this works. Okay.
I don't know.
What do you think? This one, should we do this one or should we do this one? Neither one of them is great. You know, I'm going to use this one because my little spiral end will work the best. Oh, I hate that I did that. I swore I had them. I had 4 of them. Ready to go. Bring down and show you. Okay, so here. So now I put it through there. See, I've got my little swirly thing on the top. Now I can adjust this a little bit by pushing up with my fingers. You see? Like that. So now what I'm going to do, of course now, I'm not going to leave this on here. I'll clip it right back out because this is not what I wanted on it, but the point is showing you how. So I picked out my 3 different ones that I wanted. So now I'm going to do the smallest flower first. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pierce them. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, so I'm going to pierce it. I go through. I did another video like this 10 years ago, almost to the day, almost to the month. Actually, it's a little bit over 10 years ago. So you see, I just went up through all 3 of them, through that hole. If you have a rivet and you want to rivet it instead, you will use a 3/32 size rivet, maybe 3/8 inch, because you have 3 layers, and so that's a little thicker. So now what I do, I pull it up straight, as tight as I could, straight on this. See that? Straight. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to clip it. Oh, that makes me mad about my beads. They're not lost. I know where they are. Just didn't come down here with me. Okay, now I need these. So I clipped it off, and now I'm going to take my little combination round and looper wolfies, and I'm going to just take this and I'm going to make a coil as tight as I can. And it can go side by side here. I'm going to show you what I mean. See how the coil is not right on top of each other. In this case, it doesn't have to be, okay? Next to each other is fine. In fact, you almost want it that way. And you get it down in there, and you get it as tight as you can get it. All right, good, that's tight. So you have a big enough pass through there that you can put a jump ring easy. See, I can put a toothpick through there, so you can get a jump ring in there easy. Okay, so now you have it's all done together. You might at the end want to adjust this a little bit, you know, your loop, or you might want to start out making a prettier loop than I did to begin with. And there you go. If you want, you can set some little pearls in here. You could make a smaller loo. You could get, just use a head pin. You could just use a head pin, and you don't even need to use that swirly thing on the end. It's your choice. You know, either one you want to do, it's fine. So there you go. You've got 2 pendants here. Now, you could say, well, you know, I don't really want to do that, Brenda. What I want to do is I want to glue them down on something. Okay. Well, that's all good. Let's see what I got in here. Okay, for example, this was my thing that I had in mind that I might do. I don't know. It might be too much. Oh, too much. I like these Y bases that we have. They're necklace blanks. I like them. So I was thinking the other day, like, what if I one like this, and one here, and then maybe a smaller one that I had painted, which I do have some. I just put them somewhere else. But, you know, just kind of go like that, come around. I don't know, that's a little much. You need some smaller pieces in there, too. And I had some that I painted. Right here. Here they are. Yay! Watch, my beads are in here, too. There's my bead. Oh, well. Better late than never, they say. Okay, so I wouldn't put that there. But anyway, so say maybe I put some smaller ones in there that I painted. See, I painted these last night. And then maybe I might take and I might put a top on, you know, some of them. And I might glue them down, you know. And I might put some other little pieces in there and fill that out real pretty. And make a really cool necklace out of this. And maybe do a tassel from here. Just a thought. Might not be what you'd do, but it was what I was thinking. Anyways, I know I can make it work, but not right now. Right now the thing is we want to learn how to dry brush these. See, look, that was the one I just did. See, that's how dry it was. I picked it up and messed around with it. Didn't hurt anything. So that was all good, right? So, okay. So I'm just, because this is kind of dry, I'll go ahead and I'll add my secondary coat. And then you can see, and then what I want you to do is I want you to grab yourself some flower petals. Maybe you have some already. And then I want you to try it and see what you think, okay? So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a little bit more pink because I kind of like the idea of pink over hot orange. It's a really, I don't know, it's like India colors. I love that. Okay, so I just, it's kind of subtle. I was watching QVC or HSN, one of the designers was on, and he had sweaters out of this color. I thought they were kind of pretty, that coral color. Sometimes the leaves get this color, you know. Okay, so I got those 2 on there. Now, here's my other one, which I couldn't find. Figures. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of this on here and just go, ooh, baby, look at that. This looks like it's splatter paint, kind of, you know. But that's how fast you can do it because they dry so quick, you know, and then the ink of gold dries so quick on top too. So, okay, and I could even add a third color, which I might do. I'd take this sideways in here. It's getting a little dry because it's been out a little too long. It's just getting to a place I'd have to use some water with it maybe, and just add a little bit. Maybe not too much. You know what do they say? Blue and yellow make green, right? And that's what's happening. And I didn't have that in mind. I wanted gold, so I did a dumb thing. But, you know, sometimes the accidents come out all right. And that did. That came out just fine. So that's ready to go to make another one. So get yourself some brass stamping, some flower parts, and map yourself out a few hours in an afternoon. Get out your ink of golds, get out your acrylic paints, and just have yourself a ball. And try to see how you can wire them up, glue them up, rivet them up, however you like. And you're just going to have a great time. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate you coming. And there'll be another one coming up pretty quick after this one that takes this another step farther. Bye.